From the one and only, this is a Local 10 News Update, sponsored by FHIA, Florida Home Improvement Associates.
Good afternoon, South Florida. I'm Christy Kruger.
And I'm Janice Fernandez. Here's a look at stories making news on this Thursday. 2 officers attacked by a man on Collins Avenue. Police say the man was acting suspicious, and when one officer approached him, he attacked that officer with a glass bottle. The man then ran into another officer who he then punched. Officers tried to use a taser on him, but he did not react. The man was taken to the hospital and is expected to be taken into custody once released. Both officers were treated on the scene and are okay.
Meantime, a homicide investigation is underway after a woman's body was found inside a Miami Beach apartment. Police responded to that scene. It was right near Carlisle Avenue after someone called 911 over concerns of a friend she had not heard from since mid-October. Officials located a man who was armed with a knife, barricading himself inside that unit. SWAT and hostage negotiators took that man into custody for questioning. No charges have been filed just yet, but police do believe the man and woman were husband and wife.
Former Broward deputy Jorge Sobrino, whose own body camera caught him beating a handcuffed suspect in the hospital, is now off the force. Sheriff Gregory Toney fired him, calling his actions unacceptable. Sobrino is also facing a count of misdemeanor battery, but the case is still pending in the courts. The police union believes evidence will eventually clear him of that charge.
Listen to Local 10's podcast, The Florida Files, wherever you are, whenever you want. Just say, Alexa, play the Florida Files podcast.
Getting the latest episode of Florida Files. Here it is from TuneIn.
Previously on the Florida Files.
Or just ask Siri, I want to hear the latest Florida Files podcast.
Here's the newest episode of the Florida Files.
Get the Florida Files on Alexa, Google Home, or Apple devices just by saying play the Florida Files podcast. The Florida Files from the one and only Local 10.
Well, police are investigating a deadly shooting involving a teen in Miami Gardens. 17-year-old Rodney Hines Jr. was killed at a Shell gas station on Northwest 183rd Street and 8th Place over the weekend. The victim suffered multiple gunshot wounds and died at the scene early Saturday morning. The shooter is still out there. As breaking news happens, we have you covered on air and online.
Head on over to local10.com for more local news coverage and updates.